Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another BJ&Co Rimworld video. Last time we had left you off with showing you what to look for in terms of colonists at the start of the game so you can get off to a decent start and not be worrying about being completely useless right out of the gate. Now we have spawned in and we're going to talk to you a little bit about the basics of getting started. Specifically, we're going to talk to you about building your first structures as well as zoning some areas. So we want to get you off to a good foot, have some nice shelter over your head, and be able to hold your goods. And it's just some of the very basic stuff off the bat. So I'm just going to zoom out and look at what we've got for the world. It's a fairly nice wide open area. There's some areas to mine. There's a few buildings already on the map, just small things. So the first thought process is, where do I want to set up my main base? It's always nice to have some protection from different sides so that people aren't coming at you all over the place. It's also nice to have growing area and power close by. So power is pretty easy. There's solar that you can get from everywhere, but I see this wonderful steam geyser here. So I will probably set up somewhere decently close to that so that I have that available for me. There's lots of good growing area around here. So what I think I'm going to do, I like the idea, steam geysers here, I'm going to set up right in this area. Now, to think about for structures, a lot of people just build a few walls, throw some beds inside, and we're good. But I like to keep in mind a couple things. Right off the bat, your mood starts okay. You have the optimism of your people, right? With under their needs, extremely low expectation, and new colony optimism. But that's going to leave in 5 days. So we want to try to balance that out, get some positive things going so your people don't break very early. One way to do that is they get a negative impact if they sleep in the same room. So to make separate rooms right off the bat is super important. And then another thing is, if their rooms are too small, they get negative impacts as well. So what I suggest is to get them 5x5 rooms initially so that you don't have to worry about the cramped environment. It gives you a little bit of room to throw things in there too on top of the beds if you want some nice beauty things. But that's the two things I'm going to go for. And we're going to do it right over here. Really doesn't matter how you do it. I'm just going to go into structure tab here. I always like to start with wood walls. You start with a lot of wood spawned in. Steel's a little bit more of an important resource for more of your specific things. But so we're just going to go in here and I'm going to design 3 rooms in here. Maybe I'll do a little bit. I'll throw a stockpile in the middle. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A wall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the wall here. Ooh. Shoot, that's not what I wanted to do there. Nope. So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a wall here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have the wall there. I will do a little bit of a pathway along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have a very easy way. We're going to throw a wood door into these places. And then we are going to do a bed into each of these. We're going to do, again, a wood bed. It's always smart to put your beds in the middle of rooms, just to help with the spaciousness stuff. So that I've already set up a very first base. 3 row rooms, and then we'll throw a stockpile in here. In order to gather goods and start working, I'm going to zone an area as a stockpile. So this will put basically any goods except for corpses and these stone chunks that you see on the map. So I'm just gonna fill this area for now. So this will be the area that people can dump stuff. It's the only stockpile, so it doesn't matter. Now, in order to get stuff there, we need, under the work tab, to ensure that people are set up to haul. And this is perfect. All of our guys are prioritized to haul. I won't go over these priorities right now, but we can do that in another video if you're interested. If you are, throw it in the comments below. So make sure they're all in hauling. We can get out of here. And then the important thing is we need to make sure that the goods are able to be hauled. And right now there's a bunch of red X's on everything. So in order to do this, you want to click on a good, and down here you'll notice that there's a forbidden and it won't touch. If you click that or press the F to toggle it, it will now get rid of that X and people will haul it. So if we just leave it here, we should see that one of them goes there and starts hauling it to our stockpile, which is perfect. So we want to go to all of these and unforbid all of them. If you zoom out and double click on something, it'll select all of that that's in the area on your vision on your map. So we want all that with the steel. We're going to do the same with the wood, with the survival meals, the silver. But then I'm also going to go back to my characters and specifically get them to pick up these 3 weapons. And I'm trying to remember who's who. Okay, Lumi, you are picking up our survival rifle. Grub is going to pick up our plasteel knife, and Blast is going to pick up our pistol. And I'm just going to throw this on 3 times so that I don't waste your time, guys. And you can see they start dropping things. You see they bring wood over and they're starting to build. And here we go. Now, as we're watching them do this, there is a very specific tip that Savvy wanted me to pass along for you guys. And that is, don't dig into mountains. And I would... For your first things, I would definitely say that. Digging into mountains takes so much more time. It takes longer to mine out a piece than it does to build walls. So here, these walls and beds will be up very quickly for us. We're not even into the end of the first day yet. Whereas mining to get the same amount of space into a mountain is going to take you forever. So this is a very ideal starting is to build. You can mine in later when you have the time, but protect yourself first. That's the most important thing. Also with the latest update, there's now insects that spawn in mountains. So if you dig far enough in, eventually over time, insects will just start spawning there and they can attack you from within your own base. In the previous patches, people used to love building into mountains because there's really only one way that they can attack you. And it's very tough for them to blow through the mountains themselves. So it's good defensively. But now with the insect capabilities, if you turtle into a mountain, you might actually get eaten out from the inside, which is kind of scary. So as you can see here, guys, it looks like all of our goods have been moved back to the main base. But we still have things that need to be built. So I'm just going to set under the architect orders, we are going to chop some wood right in front of our base. And we will do that. And while we're also waiting, we'll talk about some other zones that you can do. There's a dumping stockpile. This is basically the opposite of a stockpile itself. If you make this, the sorts of things that it'll haul into it, and you can see what what will be prioritized in this storage menu here. It will have rotten things, chunks, which, like I said, were these stone things, and corpses. So animal corpses and human corpses, that sort of thing. So it's kind of the stuff you don't want in your base. It's nice to have these out of the way because people won't be walking around corpses and stuff, which gives them a little bit of a negative mood modifier, which you do not want. The less of those you can have, the better. See here, mood's doing okay, but as soon as that new colony optimism goes, things are going to be not amazing. Wants to sleep with Lumi. Ooh, I have a double bed that I'm gonna have to deal with, but that's a different story. So that's the beginning of your first town. Get your basics set up and then start building more spaces. What the hell's going on? Oh, I don't have people on plant cut. So I'm just going to set that. Yeah, always, if you're having issues with people doing things, check your work tab, guys. But this should... Come on, guys. Chop more trees down. Get with the program. I don't want to finish until this is done. The next thing I would start doing is I would start making a area for me to have things set up to do some cooking and that sort of thing. So, I'll start that right now. So in here, I will get them to set up a nice little table in the corner, get a couple of stools so that they can eat or sit where they eat. But yeah, this is it, guys. This is your basic structures, right? Give yourself rooms. The basic tips, like I said, don't go into... I guess I can keep this going. Silly me. Don't mine too much into the building or into the mountains to start with. It can be a little sketchy for you. But then also, don't put everybody in the same room to start with, right? Make sure that you've got the separate rooms for each people. It'll really help your moods right off the bat. And make them big enough. Make them a 5x5. Then you won't have to worry about cramped spaces. And that's it. That's basically it. Just a nice, easy start off. It'll help your moods a ton as things go along. So if you found this helpful, smash that like button. We love to see that you guys are enjoying this. Also, if there's more things you would like to know, if you have any sorts of questions or anything, throw it down in the comments below. I love to answer questions and just see if you have ideas of what would work better, or if I missed something, I'd love to hear it as well. I know I'm not perfect, so I want to be able to pass on the best information possible to all of you guys. Don't forget, you can also hang out with us or check us out on your favorite social media: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, Vote, Instagram, Snapchat. We also have a Discord channel going on, so you can find most of that information down in the comments below, or just not in the comments, in the description below. And if you throw it all something down in the comments, we can always chat with you ourselves. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you all next time in our next Rimworld episode, where we are going to focus a little bit more on some farming.